Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. If everyone can, in the chat box, introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about your business, and then you can also leave your social media, connect with us on social media. And if you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the Q&A box. And we'll just allow a few more moments for introductions, and then we'll get started with the webinar. All right, we'll get started the webinar. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. My name is Taya Brown, and I'm the Administrative Coordinator at the Temple Small Business Development Center. The Temple SBDC helps small businesses start, grow, and succeed. We do this through our no-cost consulting and a variety of our no-cost webinars and training programs like the one you're attending today. You're joining us for Canva Basics to Digital Marketing Design. We are recording today's session, and a copy of the recording and today's PowerPoint will be sent to all attendees within a few days in a follow-up email. All attendees are encouraged to post in the Q&A box with questions. Everyone is muted, and if you have any engaging items that you would like to share with us, please post them in the chat. Now I will turn over the floor to Rachel.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Taya. Hi, everyone. I am so happy to be here presenting Canva Basics to Digital Marketing Design. Like Taya mentioned, my name is Rachel. I am the Marketing and Communications person here at the Temple SBDC. A little bit about the Temple SBDC. We are hosted by Temple's Fox School of Business. We've been serving the small businesses of Philadelphia, Eastern Montgomery, and Lower Bucks counties since 1983. And we aim to be a place where all members of our small business community can grow, develop, and thrive. We prioritize diversity, equity, and inclusion to ensure that everyone is part of a positive and respectful environment. It's a benefit to our whole small business community when we can surround ourselves with people with all types of different perspectives. We offer some really wonderful services here at the SBDC. So this is my this is a little bit of the marketer and me coming out. So if this is your first time interacting with us, I just want to take just a few seconds to break down some of the services that we offer. So we do one-on-one consulting. And with one-on-one consulting, you're paired with a small business specialist who acts as your advisor. What is special about the SBDC's consulting is that it's not a one-off consultation. Your consultant stays your consultant for as long as you choose to work with the SBDC. So they check in with you regularly, and you're really able to develop a relationship with your consultant. They also help with a host of small business considerations. Think business management, planning, research, procurement. It really runs the gauntlet. And then we also offer tons of training programs and webinars like the one that you're attending today. We offer training on everything from choosing different types of legal formations, social media, cybersecurity, and website creation. We also provide website, social media, and SEO audits through our Pennsylvania Digital Transformation and e-commerce program, which can help small businesses across the state. And we do website creation services through that program as well. And I'll talk about PadTep in even more detail a little bit later. So a little about me. I am Rachel, and like I said, I'm the Marketing Communication Specialist here at Temple SBDC. I have been here for a little less than 2 years, so coming up on 2 years. I have a bachelor's degree in advertising and a master's in business administration, also from Temple as well. So an owl through and through for sure. I am also a Canva fanatic. I use Canva every single day in my job here at the SBDC, and I also use it in my personal life. I recently got engaged, so I've been working on invitations and save the dates in Canva as well. I've lived in Philly for 8 years, and I love the unique small businesses all over the city, and I'm constantly exploring. So we're going to jump right into the agenda. We have an hour to get a lot done, so we're going to keep the pace fast. We're going to be moving, but if you have any questions, feel free to throw them into the Q&A. I definitely want to be able to make sure that I try and answer as many questions as I can. So first, we're going to talk about Canva, what it is, what it does, and how you can use it. We're going to compare the free version to the paid version. We're going to talk about what you can make in Canva and what I recommend you probably avoid making. I'll walk you through creating an account. We'll talk about different templates available, and I'll also open up Canva live and play around in the platform so that you can see how it actually works. I'll talk about some great options for free images if the ones in Canva aren't cutting it. And then I'll go over some tips and tricks, and then I'll show you how you can make GIFs and videos as well. And we'll also briefly touch on the new AI suite that has been released. I'll show you a little bit about it, but it's new, so a lot of it's in beta. So we'll go over just a little bit of that as well. So what is Canva? It is a free to use online graphic design tool. You're going to hear me stress the free part quite a bit in this presentation because Canva does have a paid version that they're going to push you a lot when you're using the free version, but you don't have to upgrade if you don't want to. What makes Canva different from other graphic design tools is how easy and accessible it is. Its intuitive drag to drop functionality makes it super easy to pick up. Unlike other tools, you don't really need a graphic design degree to use Canva. I use Canva at the SBDC for almost all of our graphics, and I am by no means an amazing graphic designer. So it really is one of those tools that you can pick up easily, and it's designed to be used by people who aren't graphic designers. It has hundreds of thousands of templates you can choose from, so you don't have to build a design from scratch. You can if you want to, and there's definitely times where that will be the case. That's when you're going to want to. But they also have templates for almost anything. So you can also, choose a template and then make tons of changes and really make it your own. So like I mentioned, Canva is free. They do have paid versions. Here at the SBDC, we use Canva Pro, but before I worked here, I used the free version for a long time. The free version of Canva is great. Like I said, I'm going to stress it a lot. It's fantastic. It is a absolutely dependable tool for small business owners who are on a tight budget. With that being said, there are some amazing features in Canva Pro that you just don't have access to in the free version. Things like magic resize, which will allow you to resize graphics to a new size instantly, or background remover, which say you have a picture of me, it'll get rid of all the background and just leave me. And those are options that are only available to you in Canva Pro. Canva Pro also allows you to create brand kits, and these kits let you save a color palette, fonts, and logos to ensure that you have cohesive branding in all of your graphics. If you have the extra cash and you think that you would benefit from Canva Pro, you can upgrade easily for $12.99 a month. It's also super easy to switch from the free version to the paid version. So you can absolutely test out the free version, and if it's not cutting it, make the upgrade to the paid version if you think you'll need it. A little bit of a deeper dive into some of the differences. So for me, I think that the biggest benefit to Canva Pro is the free stock photos. With the free version, you have about 200,000, but it jumps to 71 million free photos. So it's a really huge jump there. Canva also understands its audience. They're smart. So a lot of the business type images are only available in Pro. But if you find a stock photo that you love, you can purchase it in Canva for $1. So you're not boxed in to only using the free photos. If you do find one that you love, you can pay an additional fee to get it. Some of the other benefits is you just get a lot more storage with Pro. You get more fonts, more animation effects, unlimited folders, which is nice because when we go into Canva, you'll see it can get a little bit messy. So really the main difference is with Pro, you just get more of everything. And again, it's easy to make the switch from the free version to the Pro version. So don't feel boxed in if you're like, oh, well, I'm going to go free. You don't have to create a new account. You won't lose all of your old information. You can just upgrade if you decide you want to. So obviously there are some other graphic design tools out there. Some of the ones that are best known is the Adobe Creative Suite. So it's important to understand the other creative graphic design options out there, and also just to understand when you would choose Canva over maybe another. So I love Canva, and it's my go-to for creating things like flyers, social media graphics, invitations, but the Adobe Creative Suite also does have its place. One of the big things, Canva does not have the capability for professional photo editing. It lets you add filters, and with the new AI integrations, it can do a little bit more of the editing. It can get rid of some, like if you had a bird, say, in a picture and you wanted to get rid of it, it might be able to do that. But for the most part, it's going to let you add filters in a way that if you've used like Instagram and you want to add a filter on Instagram, that's what Canva can do for pictures. But it's not going to work for serious photo editing. So to give you an example, a wedding photographer is not going to use Canva for photo editing. It just doesn't have the necessary tools. That would be a job for Photoshop. And then for logo designers, professional logo designers, they're always going to choose Illustrator over Canva. And I will dig into that in just a minute. So what can you create in Canva? Like I said, at the SBDC, we basically use Canva for everything. So these are some graphics that you can see here. You can see my little thing here. So we've used it for flyers. This here is a double-sided flyer. We also use it down here. We created our, that's our org chart. These are some social media flyers. This we did a bigger poster. This is Instagram stories. This here was a business card, and then also some invitations. So what is special about Canva is that it has all of the sizes built in for you. So if you want to make an Instagram post, you don't have to Google what is the right size for an Instagram post. You can just type Instagram in to Canva and it'll populate the right size for you. So no more guessing on is this going to be the right size for this specific platform. All right, so before I move on, I want to make sure, do we have any questions? Looks like, yeah.
Rachel, one of the questions that it seems has been coming up is that, is free really free? People are a little unsure of that.
Yeah, so free, it really is free. It's more like freemium. So you can use Canva and never have to pay for anything. I used Canva for many years and never paid to upgrade anything. But like I mentioned, if you wanted specific stock images, you may end up, the options are limited. So you may end up wanting to upgrade and then you'd have to pay for the additional add-on. But you can also never use the upgraded stock images and then use it for free forever. So it really is free. But depending on just how much content you're creating, depending on how large your business grows, how many people are using Canva to create items for your business, then you may want to make the upgrade just to ensure that your brand identity stays strong.
We have another question. Erica is asking, have you ever used printing service available through Canva? They're considering trying that.
I have not, Erica. So at Temple, we have a printer that we have to use. So I'm not actually allowed to use the printing through Canva. So I can't speak personally to it. I will say in my like personal life, I'm looking at ways to save money on like printing wedding invitations. And I've seen a lot of people who used Canva's printings, like Canva's own printing service for their wedding invitations, and they look beautiful. So I can't give my personal stamp of approval, but it does seem like people are using it and really liking it. All right. Let me see, just want to make sure I'm not missing anything else. I know Catherine talking about posting on various social media sites. We'll talk about that a little bit later, but most social media sites have like a preferred, she was asking, would I have to create a new sized image for each platform? And it depends. There are some sizes that work pretty well with all the different platforms, but things like Instagram, like a Twitter sized graphic is not going to look great on Instagram. So there's stuff like that where you do have to sort of play around, but there's also options for you to find a solid image that works on most platforms, and then you can use it without having to resize. All right. Moving right along. So when talking about a lot of ways that you can use Canva, but there are also some things that I don't recommend. And a big one for me is logos. Normal graphics are made with pixels, but a vector is made with points, lines, and curves. So logos are almost always vector files. And I'm not going to go into like the whole computer generation behind a vector image. But what I'll tell you is that what it means is when it's zoomed in or zoomed out, it doesn't experience that pixelated look that you see a lot of times with other types of files like a PNG or a JPEG. The artwork won't have jagged lines or blurriness. But because Canva doesn't allow you to download vector files unless you have a paid account, it's just not the right choice for logos. If you do have the Pro version, then it will allow you to download a file as an SVG. That's a scalable vector graphic. And so these are vector images, but they are really web friendly and not good for printed assets like flyers and business cards. So I don't recommend using Canva for logos, even if you do have the Pro account, because you can only download it as an SVG. So if you ever want to put together printed material, it is not going to look as great. Another big reason that I don't recommend using Canva is because your logo should be something that you create or that you work with someone else to create that really speaks to your business. The platform has a lot of pre-made logo templates, but it already has over 75 million users. So that makes it basically impossible to use a logo template that already exists that another business hasn't already used. So if there's ever a time to hire a graphic designer, a logo design would definitely be at the top of my list. You can find specialized logo designers for reasonable prices, and you can oversee that creative process to make sure that you end up with a logo that you absolutely love. And then once you have the logo file, you can upload it into Canva, and then you can start adding that logo into all of your beautiful Canva designs, but you're making sure that you have a unique logo that's all yours. So it's super easy to create a Canva account online. You can create an account in less than 5 minutes. You're just going to open up your preferred internet browser. So you can open up Google Chrome or Firefox, and then you go to canva.com. And then once you're there, in the top right corner, there's going to be a purple button that says sign up. And you're going to click on that, and you're able to get started. Can everyone still see my screen?
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, just making sure. Right there, see, circled sign up. So once you hit sign up, a dialog box is going to pop up, and it will prompt you to sign up with Facebook or Google or your email address. So you just choose your preferred method, and then completing the sign up process allows you to get immediate access to Canva and all of its design features. If you hit continue another way, then it'll also give you the option to sign up with Apple ID or a Microsoft account. So you can really create an account with whatever your preferred option is to sign up with. Most people, I use an email. Some people use their Google account, but it's really simple. Once you're in Canva, this is how you're going to find different templates. And like I said, they really do have a template for everything. So in that search bar right here, you are going to be able to search for specific items in that search bar. So if you already know what you want, say you already know, I definitely want to make a Facebook post, you can just start to type Facebook and it will start to auto populate for you. And then you can click on it, it'll take you right to it. But you can also just sort of bop around and get inspired. They offer things like social media cover photos, infographics, email headers, labels, graphs. You could really spend all day. And I definitely have spent a lot of time just getting inspired by searching through their different templates. Because sometimes there are things I wouldn't even think, oh, you know what, this would be a great option to have for my business. And then I'm searching around in their templates and I'm like, oh my goodness, just kidding. You know what? I never did think I should have branded envelopes, but then I recognize, you know what, I should, and they look great. Another thing that's important, like I said, Canva recently introduced a suite of AI powered tools. They call it Canva Magic. So it'll say Magic Write, Magic Edit. But it's really artificial intelligence. So you can use these tools for help when you're writing. They have a presentation tool that you can play around with, and then other design tools. You can use these tools to help speed up your design process, and they can also be good for inspiration. But it's really important to note, this is huge, it's important to note that a lot of these tools are still in beta, so they're still in that like testing phase. So while they can be really helpful, I would not recommend relying on them completely. So say you want help writing something, you can give it inspiration, but I would for sure check on it and make sure that everything is accurate, because a lot of these things are still very much in testing. So I am going to open up Canva and actually show you what it looks like and how it works. But before I do, does anyone have any questions?
Rachel, there's a couple very specific questions in the Q&A if you could take a look.
Yeah, give me 1 second. All right, so I see a couple. So nonprofits applying for Canva Pro. So Canva Pro does offer free accounts for nonprofits. if you have a nonprofit, then you may be familiar with trying to get nonprofit discounts in other places. It's going to ask you to provide documentation about your nonprofit, and then you may still have to go back and forth with their customer service, but they do offer free Canva paid accounts for nonprofits. Important to note, that does not apply to schools. So like a university is not eligible for that nonprofit discount, even though technically they are. So that's how it works. And then will we lose the right to the pictures we bought when we switch? No, you'll still have them. But now then if you switch, so the question from James is, will we lose the right to pictures we bought when we switch? The answer is no. You'll still have them. But really what will happen is now you'll have access to that picture and to millions of other pro pictures. So you'll have tons of options to stock photos, but you'll still have access to that first one as well. Let's see, I have the paid version and it looks like I have to pay them to send me what I created. So that's kind of a specific question. I've never run into that problem. The only thing I can imagine is if you're talking about if you're printing something out, then you do have to pay for them to print things. But if you're just trying to download, say, a social media graphic, you shouldn't have to pay. You can reach out to me directly or to the SBDC directly. We'll have our contact information in this slide and we can take a look at that. But yeah, unless you're trying to get something, printed, then you shouldn't have to pay to download in either the free or the paid version. How should you go to get a logo to be able to do web and print? Oh yeah, so I mentioned scalable vector graphics. So the file, this is going a little bit, we're getting a little bit in the weeds about graphic design here. I would recommend an EPS file. So that's like a file that's created in one of those Adobe designs like Illustrator. If you are looking for help with a logo design, people who like a specialized graphic designer who does logos would absolutely be able to walk you through that process. All right. If we have a Canva account, can we change the email address on it? I want to say the answer is yes, but I haven't done it myself, so I can't say for sure, but I believe that you can change the account or the email. All right. Sorry, guys, getting through all these pictures. Can you search for a design you created in Canva by the file name? Yes, and I will show you how to do that right when I share my screen. So yes. Can you put a Canva creation into MailChimp? Yes, and MailChimp actually has an integration with Canva. So I will talk about the integrations that Canva offers when we get into this. Notice the last time I did a Facebook cover, it was not the correct size. I had to move items around. Can you think of why that would have happened? The only reason I could think that that could happen is if Facebook had recently changed the specs for cover photos and Canva just hadn't caught up yet. So social media platforms do make changes. So social media platforms do make changes. And Canva has to catch up to them. So it's possible that you just caught them right in that weird spot where Facebook had made the change, but Canva hadn't updated for the change yet. And then I'm seeing some people are trying to raise their hand. Unfortunately, we're unable to unmute you in this kind of process. So please, if you have questions, please type them in the Q&A and I'll be sure to get to them. And then with Canva Pro, if we're printing envelopes and using our logos or on the envelope, would you recommend printing or no? I think it's okay if you have your own logo that you brought in, that's fine. But I wouldn't recommend creating your own logo in Canva and then printing. But if you have your own logo that's been created by a graphic designer that you then brought into Canva, then absolutely feel free.
Rachel, this will be the last question. I'll let you move on.
Okay.
This is a good one. If you are using Canva for business, what are the copyright rules around this?
Okay. Yes. So they're a little bit tricky. So I am not a lawyer, so I don't want to offer you legal advice. I don't believe that you own the rights to the photos or to the graphics, but you can use them in any type of business way that you would want. You can make changes. So I have created graphics in Canva and then made them into like big flyers and posted them everywhere, and that's allowed. But there are it can get a little bit trickier. I think if you're like maybe just using stock photos. So what I'll do is I will, in the follow-up email that all of you will get, I'll make sure to include Canva has like a little bit of, because this is could be a rabbit hole that we get down. They have a whole little blurb. It's really not a blurb. It's more of like a large website that shows you, breaks it down for you. But I wouldn't be like concerned. You can create anything in Canva and use it anywhere is really the process. But as far as who owns it, I think Canva might own it a little bit too. Hopefully that, I know that's not an amazing answer, but hopefully that's helpful. All right. So now I'm going to move in and I'm going to show you guys how to use Canva, and I'll actually get right into it. So give me just 1 second. I am going to stop sharing my screen for just a moment so that I can share Canva. All right. So this is Canva. Can everyone see it? Yeah. Perfect. All right. So you guys are actually going to get a little bit of a peek behind the curtain here. This is the Temple SBDC's real life Canva account. So if you follow us on social media, which maybe some of you do, that's how you found us. You might see some of our own graphics that you have seen before. So this is the homepage on Canva right when you log in, canva.com. So I'm going to show you a few things and I'm going to walk you through slowly. Remember, if you have questions, you can feel free to throw them in the chat and I will get to them. So templates, like I mentioned, there's a couple ways to find them. So right here in the center is this search bar. And what you can do here is find templates or also your existing projects. So someone mentioned, can I search through by a name? And the answer is yes. So I have blogs and I can look and see any of the blogs that I've done. But template wise, you can also search. So say you want to create an Instagram, you can start to type it in and it'll offer, oh, an Instagram portrait, an Instagram square, and then some suggested templates as well. So that is one way that you can find templates. You can also click over here. So this, I'll do that again, just to make sure everyone caught that. I went a little fast. You're gonna go over to the left side of your screen where all of these different menus are listed, and you can go to templates, and this will take you here. And what's cool about this is this does a couple different things. It'll show you popular topics. So these are topics that people are currently using a lot. So, you know, Easter's coming up, so they're using a lot of Easter. They also have featured collections. So these are just sort of curated collections created by Canva. They'll also do something called You May Like. So as you start to use Canva more and more, Canva can recognize, oh, you know what? They're creating a lot of resource lists or checklists, or maybe you're creating a lot of Facebook account or Facebook posts, and it'll sort of show you, well, we think you might like this. So that's a good way to find things. And then, you know, trending near you, stuff that's going on, stuff that people in my area are finding useful. And then some new stuff in Canva, you know, they're always coming out with new designs and new templates. But what I like to do best is from my home screen, I just like to search for what I'm looking for. So let's try and create a Facebook post. So I'm going to start to type in face and it's going to come up right away. So they have Facebook ads, a Facebook app ad. And like I said, you can see right there that 1200 by 628. That's a perfectly sized. That's the pixels you need, so you don't have to go and look it up yourself. You can keep looking. And I'm going to do a Facebook post. And when you click on that, it'll show me different template options. So I can start to look specifically at Facebook options and go through here. Or I can decide to start with a blank Facebook post. So that's what I'm going to do. Let's start with a blank one. And it pulls up, this is right here, this white, that's your like working board. So anything that is in this white space is going to be part of your actual graphic, and anything in this gray space, that's sort of like the border. So anything that's in the border area is not going to show up. And then you can do a couple things. You can also search through here, see some upcoming or some recommended templates. You can also search. So at this point, it's going to keep my searches to Facebook post specific. So I can think of, oh, you know, like a makeup, and I can search and it will give me recommended posts, recommended templates I can use. Or say I own a bakery, I can start to search for bakery. Oh, and maybe they don't have anything apparently for that. So let's stick with makeup. Sometimes they don't have things that match with you. But okay, so this looks great. Love the way that this looks, but it's not quite right. So you can make edits and adjustments to every element that is on your, that is part of the design. So each part that I click on here, that is its own element. So this picture moves, this, these trees move, these text boxes, they move, they're editable. Everything can be changed and edited. So if you want to go back to the original, you can just go up to the left top hand corner here and you can undo. So this will undo everything that I just did. You can also use Control Z on, or you can use Control Z or on your, or Command Z on your I don't remember the word to type it out. On your keyboard. Yes, it's been a long week, guys. Okay, so I want to make some changes. Maybe I don't actually sell makeup. Maybe I do sell cakes. So I can change this. I can change the text, click on it, and change to cake decorating. And then I can change the font size by going up here. And this way I can change all of the options. So I can actually change the font altogether. So then I like this. Now I've got a cake decorating tutorial. So now I want to find a picture that works, because obviously if I'm doing a cake decorating tutorial, this is not the right picture. So what I'll do is on this left-hand side, I can go to elements. And this has everything that I would consider using. So it has videos, photos, stickers. So those are just, they kind of look like, see them on Instagram a lot too. They can move, regular graphics, charts, frames for pictures. They really have everything. But what I'm going to do is you can just search for the element you're looking for by just going and searching. So I'm going to look for cake. And then it'll pull it, and I can look for videos or photos. For me, I'm going to choose photos and love this. And I can drag it into this image here. There's a couple ways I can do it. I can click on it and it'll show up. I can pull it into existing frames, or I can pull it and it'll go into the back area of my picture. So there's a lot of options there. Something I saw, the crown picture in the right, does that mean it's for the pro account? Yes. So this is a good place to stop. Someone's asking about how to tell if something is pro or not. So like I mentioned, while you can use Canva for free and it's amazing, they are going to scatter in options that are only available in a pro account without necessarily telling you. So you can see what pictures are available for free and what pictures are pro by this little crown icon. So they don't make it super easy, but you should be able to tell. So this is a free image that you have access to with a free account, but this is not. It has that pro sticker there and you would have to pay for that. So I'm gonna get rid of some of these, but I want to replace them with other cake graphics. So I have cake already in here. I can go and look at other shapes if I want to. Maybe I want to add this instead. I think this looks super cute here. Looks like a sprinkle. And I can also, these elements, like I said, you can drag and drop them anywhere. And you can also twist them. You can resize them. You can make them smaller. Really up to you. And like I said, you can see it sort of disappears as it goes off the edge into that gray. That means that it won't show up on your picture when you export it. So let me see, do we have any questions before I keep going? Can you show how to create a template? So feels like we're kind of doing that. I can show you that as well though. So if you want a blank, this is a way to start from a blank template. You can just start from scratch. So let's see, you know what? I like this. I can look at text. They have font combinations, so different options. So I like this, but I want it to say something different. So I can change it from cold, smooth, and tasty to yummy, like, ooh. But it keeps that sort of font. Then I can go in and choose elements exactly. So if I want to use that cake picture, I can pop that in here. Make changes to the size. And I can sort of mess with it and just drag and drop elements in that I want. If we want to use our own images, we can upload images from our from like the files on our computer as well. So you can go here to this left-hand side, and uploads is where it is. You're going to choose uploads. So you can see here, these are all items that we've uploaded ourselves. You'll hit upload file and it will pop up your just your regular like file explorer, and then you can choose the images that you want. So I think this is just like a chocolate chip cookie that we have. There you go. And that pops it up right for you. So you can upload your own images. That's a good way for you to upload logos, upload pictures of your own products. And you can do that there. Is the magic right unlimited in the pro version? No, so you can use it. I believe you can use it in either version. And I'll show you Magic Right. I can do that now, actually. We'll show you now. So this is stuff I've been messing with Magic Right because it's pretty new. These are items that I had Canva write for me just to see how it's working. So I'll show you an option. I wanted it to write a 500-word blog on hiring for your small business. And you can see it's a little, you know, I don't know if I would call it a blog. It's more like a list, but it's a cool way to start. So how you use Magic Right is there's this button that says add magic, and you can click Magic Right, and then, you know, small business tips.
Rachel, I'm going to
Yeah.
interrupt for a second. We have some attendees saying that they cannot see your screen and some saying that they see a black box to the right of the screen. I can see it on my end, but there's several people who are saying they cannot.
Oh, okay. Let me stop sharing and then try and share again. Let's see. All right. Hopefully that should have fixed the problem. Can you see it now?
Yes, people are saying they can see it now.
Okay, and is the black box gone? Perfect.
It's not on the type, it's just off to the side, but everything looks good.
How about now? Gone now?
It's gone now, thank you.
Perfect. There we go. Okay, sorry about that, guys. But yeah, so you can have it enter items, and this is not just a pro option. You can also use it in smaller items here. So we have this yummy cakes, and I can, if you go down here, this is called the Canva assistant, and I can expand the text. So maybe yummy cakes isn't long enough. I can click expand, and it'll, whoa, give me lots of information about cakes. And some of these options, so some of them are pro only, but again, what they'll do is they'll give you some options in Canva Write that are pro and some that are free. So expanding it may be part of the pro version, but starting to write something may be the free version. There you go. So then you want to keep going, and again, we can add recently used images, or we can go and look at graphics, and we can search cake. And oh, you know what? I want to add this, move it, and put it there. And then you can, you know, make a little option for yourself. So then when you think they're good to go, so you've created this graphic, you love the way it looks. Obviously, I would do a little bit more finessing if I was creating an actual image, but for, you know, the sake of us getting through this, let's say this looks good. Then you can save the item, save the image by going to the right-hand side up to share. You're gonna hit share and then go to download. And then download gives you the option to download what in the different options that you want. So you can download it as a JPEG or as a PNG, even as a PDF, or a GIF or a video if you want. So we'll go with PNG. You can change the size, so you can make it larger or smaller. If you have a pro version, you can add a transparent background. If not, you can't. And then you can choose the pages you want. So I only want page 2, page 1, I'm not happy with. And then you simply download. And now you have that download and you can use it anywhere. Whoop, you can use it anywhere that you want. All right, so I'm going to stop sharing my screen and I'm going to go back to this. Here we go. All right. So, and I will go back in at the end. I just want to make sure that we get through the rest of these options. All right. So if you're using the free Canva version, like I showed you while we were in there, the image selections are not always going to cut it. They're not always going to have enough options, but you can find other high quality images online. Places like Unsplash, Pexels, and Pixabay are some of my favorite stock photo sites. You may need to search in a few to see if you can find exactly what you want. So for example, in this version, one of these pictures is on Unsplash and the other one is on Pexels. And I searched for cookies on both, but one of them clearly thinks that cookies are only a holiday thing. So just be prepared to search a little. But this is a good way to get around not having amazing options for free Canva stock photos. And you can just download these. These are free to use. You can download them and then upload them into Canva. Another thing that you need to be aware of is Canva integrations. Canva integrates with a lot of different platforms. You'll see in this picture, Pixabay is actually on there. You can also post your designs directly to social media right from Canva. It's not my favorite way to post on social media, but it is an option that is available. Unfortunately, scheduling your social media posts is only available in Pro, and I highly recommend having your social media scheduled ahead of time, because the frequency with which you post and the times that you post can definitely impact your engagement. But there are free social schedulers out there. Buffer is a good one. So you can create all of your social media designs all at once and then download them all in a batch and then schedule them out in a different platform. Someone asked about MailChimp. Canva and MailChimp do have an integration. You can create images and move them into MailChimp. Something important to note, which I actually learned recently, you cannot create, say you would create an entire email campaign, you cannot then move that into MailChimp. That won't work. It'll just upload as one image. So someone mentioned that. I just want to make sure that you know. Someone asked about downloading the free images from Unsplash or Pexels. So you literally, I can show you. So you go to Unsplash. These are literally the pictures. Be careful because Unsplash 2 now has sponsored content that you can't download for free. But say you love this picture, you just download it and you just click download and then it's in your files right away. So you are all set with that. You just can go to unsplash.com and I will include a link to that as well for everyone to see. Oh, I realize now you guys can't see what I just did. Oops, let me share my screen again. All right, here you go. Sorry about that. So you go to unsplash.com. That's what this looks like. You can go down and then click on an image that you like, download it for free, and you're good to go. And then you just upload it right away. All right. All right, sorry, I know we've got a lot of pictures. So we have some questions here. How can I make an ebook? You just would go into Canva and search ebook and it would have templates for you. In the past, you were able to move your backgrounds or bring graphics up in front. So you should be able to do that. I can take us back in at the end and we can mess around with that. If you upload your file, does it become accessible to Canva or to their clients? No, so it's still your file. Your file is not gonna, if you upload a picture in Canva, everyone else who accesses Canva cannot use that picture. So that you don't have to be worried about that. Can you use Canva on your phone? Yes, you can. I don't recommend using Canva on your phone, at least when you first get started, just because it can be, you know, your phone screen is much smaller than a big laptop or a computer, so it can be kind of challenging to use. But if for some reason you were on the run, you can use Canva on your phone. It's just not my ideal way to use it. All right. What exactly is the auto transparency background? So that's just if you want a transparent background. So that's good for logos. So it would just have just your image and not like a white border around it. All right. I know we have a lot of questions, but we are getting close to the end. So I just want to make sure that we have enough time, and I'm happy to stay on a little bit later if we need to. So moving right along, must know keyboard shortcuts. So as you get more advanced, there are keyboard shortcuts. There are the ones that you sort of already know, like Control-C for copy, Control-V for paste, and Control-Z for undo. But then there are some other ones that will be helpful for you specifically in Canva as you start designing more and more. These are not things that I'm going to like go through each one, but you will have this deck sent to you afterwards so you can learn all of these. And then there is a little link on here that will give you a bunch of different keyboard shortcuts that you can learn to get better. Creating videos and GIFs on Canva along with static images. You can also create short videos and GIFs. They do well on social media's different algorithms. So if you can make these, it's a great addition to your social strategy. And it's easy to take a static design and make it a GIF. And as for videos, Canva actually has a great video on their own videos. So I'm going to let Canva show you how.
Canva Video packs powerful video tools in one easy-to-use platform for free. Let's discover how to get started with your next video project. Start inspired with a video template in the Videos tab. Here, you can see all video template types. These videos are 16:9, the standard size for video projects. Use the filters to view by theme or style. Let's create a blank standard video. Once inside the editor, you might notice things look a little different. The page viewer has been changed to work with video. We call this the story view. This black triangle and line is called the playhead. Click and drag it to move forward or rewind through your video. Start by choosing a template from the Templates tab. Zoom in and out by using the slider at the bottom. Lastly, press the play button or hit the spacebar to play a preview of your video. Time to customize our template. Discover an entire library of stock videos in the Elements tab. Search using keywords and filter by video. If you search for videos regularly, customize the object panel by adding a dedicated Videos tab, like this. Drag a video to a scene in the story view to replace an existing background video. Upload video from your computer or device by going to the Uploads tab. Or add video from your Facebook, Google Drive, or Instagram accounts here. Did you know you can record yourself directly within Canva to add to your design? Choose your camera and microphone, then hit Start Recording. The new recording is added directly to the scene and saved to the Uploads tab so you can find it later. Now you can start inspired with a template, add, upload, and edit your next video project.
So there you go. I'm just going to let Canva tell you how to do it because they do a great job and you can make videos.
The video.
But I'm also going to show you real quick how to make a GIF. It's super, super easy. So. All right, so we can go back to this existing image that we've already created. This was a static image. But say I want to turn it into a GIF. It's easy to do. You can click on individual elements and hit up here, sort of on the left-hand side, animate. So this will give me options so I can have it come in from the bottom, or I can have it tumble in, or have it sort of scrapbook along or stomp. And then I have this animation already set up, and I can do that for each element. So I can animate these yummy cakes, and I can have it wipe in from the side. And then if I wanted to, I can also animate this section here as well, and I'll have that, come in like that. And then I have this great little GIF, and if I want to download this as a GIF, I still go to the download option area there. So I go up to the right-hand side, hit share, then scroll down to download. And then I can choose GIF. and I can just download it. And when I download it, it will move and it will be a GIF, and I can use that on social media and lure people in a little bit more. All right, so I am going to finish up. I know that we still have questions. I will try and get to some of them, but I want to make sure that I can get through right to the very tail end. Told you guys there's a lot of stuff. So that is Canva as a whole. Keep in mind, we also have PADTEP. It is our Pennsylvania Digital Transformation and E-commerce program. So they provide social media, SEO, and website audits, e-commerce consulting, and digital marketing consulting. And you can fill out an interest form. We will have that sent to you. You can also contact us. I'm sure you'll have questions. You can contact us at sbdc@temple.edu. You can also find us online at our website. And then you can scan that QR code there to make sure that you're signed up for our newsletters so that you are not missing any of our upcoming webinars or other events, and follow us on social media as well. We like to give plenty of information on there. So thank you so much for coming, and thank you in advance for completing our brief survey. I am going to have Taya share that in the chat, and you will also be able to fill that out when you get an email about it. I am going to stop sharing my screen and I can answer some questions for the last few seconds we have here. I want to be cognizant of your time. So Magic is Chat GPT powered. So Chat GPT is an AI provider. It's not the only one. So I don't know for sure if it's powered by Chat GPT, but it is powered by some type of AI. So yeah, let's see what else. Let me show you here. I can share my screen, answer some of those other questions. All right. Someone asked how I can make an ebook. Like I said, you can search ebook template, and it'll have all these different options that have multiple pages, and you can really just sort of find what you're looking for like that. Is Magic, oh wait, I already answered that. How do you access the Magic area again? So you can do it by typing. If you're typing, you can just hit add Magic and it'll magic right like that. How can I search a file by name? You can search a file by name by going to your home page, searching for, if you know the name, you can just switch from templates to projects and you just search blog if you have the name. And I did, oh, okay, my blog and social media images, and it'll just pull it up for me. So there you go. Those are a lot of those images. I know that we're running behind, so I'm not going to be able to unfortunately answer everyone's questions, but I want to thank you so much for coming. And if you have questions, you can send them directly to me at rachelsbdc@temple.edu, and I'm happy to answer your questions there if I didn't get to them. All right. Thank you so much for stopping by. And I appreciate everyone taking the time out of their day. I loved having some time to spend with you guys. I know it's a lot of information. So you'll get the recording and you'll be able to sort of digest it again, and feel free to email me if you have any questions. All right. Have a good one.